Hola, chicas. Welcome to Encuentras Your Voice podcast, where Latina voices are amplified by sharing their powerful journeys from ancestry to authenticity, giving voice to generations past, often silenced or erased, while showcasing the aha moment of our guests when they embraced their authenticity and soared into success. I'm your host, Consuelo Crosby, here with you every Wednesday at a new time in this season 8. Given our expanding global audience, con gusto, we are dropping new episodes just after midnight on Wednesdays. So no matter where you are in the world, we are together, leaning into the valuable stories that resonate with you, adding a place of belonging, and sharing resources that may help make life just that much easier. Plus, meet your next best amiga after hearing their story every week.
Today, we're coming to you from the winter skies of Barcelona. We're in Catalonia again, which is the perfect and serendipitous place to be bringing you today's guest. She's an amazing woman who has established living life as a global citizen, where borders can't confine her or her family. It's in her DNA. Given she was born here in Spain to an American father and an Indian mother, speaking 3 languages as a small child and thriving in her newfound heritage of Spain. Sharmila Hall is the founder and CEO of SMB Global Marketing, a digital marketing agency dedicated to helping small and medium businesses connect with diverse and multicultural audiences. Sharmila leads a team specializing in multilingual marketing, SEO, web development, branding, and culturally attuned strategies that help businesses thrive in an increasingly global marketplace. You'll hear us talk today about that important intersection of personal experiences and global marketing strategies. We touch on living as a digital nomad and the importance of those experiences in business to expand and reach those local markets and take them worldwide. And while her expertise is towards small and medium-sized businesses, this really applies for anyone seeking to live life outside the 9 to 5. The beauty of this one is that it will change your mindset on what you thought your future may look like. Because Sharmila gives us freedom from the typical American lifestyle, a 9 to 5 grind, and opens the entire world to us. And as Sharmila says, why live 12 months in the same place when you can live all over the world, working and raising a family? So get comfy, lean back, and get ready to meet your next best amiga.
Welcome to Encuentras Your Voice podcast, Sharmila. So happy to have you here. And we met somewhat randomly, a call to action over Threads, but so serendipitous to my life for who you are and what you do. So thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing?
Thank you, Consuelo. I'm very good. I'm very excited to be here. And indeed, it was a casual get to meet each other, trying to connect with similar-minded individuals. I came across your profile and I was like, I need to reach out to her. And that first conversation was just like, oh, I need to stay in contact with her.
Exactly. It was like, yep, fireworks went off. And the appreciation for digital. I have to say, sometimes we get fed up with tech. But wow, how would we have ever met if it weren't for that moment? I love it. Yes. And we're going to meet in person very soon. So like we always do here on our podcast, we very much respect our ancestry and love archiving a living archive of our diaspora from the Latinidad. And we'd love to hear your own story now.
Absolutely. So I was born and raised in Spain. I lived there all my life, actually, until 2015. But my parents are in Spanish. My dad is from the U.S. My mom is from India. So I was raised with 3 different cultures because my parents believed that when in Rome, do as Romans do. So we celebrated and did everything as local Spaniards, celebrated the holidays with the Spanish school, everything. But at home, we did celebrated Diwali. We went to Satsang, which is like church, but in India is Indian local traditions. We celebrated Thanksgiving. We celebrated Christmas.
Wow.
So a bit of everything. We also celebrated Reyes. It's in Spain, so say the hay que celebrar los Reyes. So yeah, a bit of everything. Very diverse and multicultural. And I think not only I'm very thankful, but that's what made me be who I am today, because I had those three cultures growing up. But because I was raised in Fuengirola, a little village in southern Spain, and it's a touristy village. So there's a lot of peoples from different parts of the world. So I had friends from Morocco, I had friends from Northern Europe, like Finland, Germany, some people from France, Belgium, people from Mexico, Ecuador, Peru, I mean, everywhere.
Wow. That's such a unique, both within your family and beyond when it comes to the comunidad. So unique. We haven't had that experience here to that depth. What was it like? Very accepting, you're saying, very accepting as the Spaniards. But tell us about that identity. That sounds like a lot to take on as a kid, as an adolescent, as a young adult.
Yeah, truth be told, I never felt from anywhere. And this is because as a child, so we did grow up in a little village in Spain back in the day. So there's a lot of very nice people, but there's also people that are a bit more close-minded.
Yes.
And they see you and they're like, no, you're not Spanish.
Yes.
So when you're growing up, like since very young ages, every time they ask you, where are you from? And you say, from here. No, you're not from here. Where are your parents from? Well, my dad's from the States and my mom's from India, but I'm from here. I was born here. No, then you are from the States. Or you are from India.
Too bad.
And older people telling me that growing up. So
wow.
I decided to tell people I was from the States because then there weren't any additional questions. And then when I was in the States, actually, when I moved in 2015, I tell people I'm Spanish. Where are you from? I'm from Spain. Because that's really my culture. That's why I feel like I was raised there. I'm a lot more Spanish than anything else. But honestly, when I think deeply, I would say I'm a citizen of the world. I'm not 100% identified with one area or another. Plus, I really, really love traveling. And not traveling to go to the touristy places. I actually avoid doing that. But I like to go stay with friends, if I have friends living there, and experience the life of locals. So get to do as they do and see a bit more the insides. I love learning languages. I love communicating with people and understanding why we all think differently, or why do people behave in a certain manner based on where they're from. Because I think that's really the richness of different cultures and the diversity of the world. And if people will sit down and listen and understand each other a bit more rather than judging, there will be a lot more connection.
Wow.
And we judge because we don't know.
Yes.
So we say, oh, you behave so badly. Do you know how we behave there? Do you know if that's correct or polite where they're from? Because it could be. Right. So you need to understand. And I think that's really been always my passion. It's
so in one regard, you felt like I don't belong anywhere. And yet, in another very golden light, you belong everywhere. You're a citizen of the world.
I really feel like that because I like to adapt where I go. Like, I don't like traveling to a place and say, okay, I'm from this other place, so I need to do like this. I don't like to bring my culture, though. So every place I go to or where I make it feels home after some time, you get the good things of each place. And I do like to share with other people, like, oh, this is how we do it here. This is how we do it there. This is how they do here.
When it comes to Indian and the U.S. cultures, out of the two, or for each one, let's say, what do you love like is the most exciting point of that culture for you?
I would say in India, the family has a very strong roots, like in many Latino cultures. Family is important, and there's like a hierarchy kind of, but you care about taking care of your parents as they grow. You care about your grandparents. You want to have everybody close. And I think that's very common in Eastern cultures and Hispanic cultures, and that's something that I really value. And I think it gives us strong roots as human beings of understanding. We need to respect the elder. They've lived more than us, and they could have very good insights. And that doesn't mean they're always right, but they do have very, very good insights. And there is sometimes a respect that's lost.
Definitely.
That I think
agree with that.
needs to be there because they've lived more. They really know more in many different things. And for the U.S. culture and my work, so I moved there with 2 young children, and like my kids were in elementary school. And I felt it was so welcoming and such a nice place when my kids were little. To raise them, like at school, for example, very inclusive. They never felt like strangers, even though we had just moved from Spain and we spoke English at home, but they didn't reciprocate many times. So they had like a broken English initially when we got there.
Okay.
But they didn't feel bad at all. I mean, the kids were really nice with them. And I guess we came into a very good community in San Diego, and a very good, neighborhood, good school. It was an IB school, and it was just like very nice.
Sweet.
And the entire community, like I did had a friend there that I met in Spain, and all her friends were also very welcoming. So it's different because I feel in Spain, or when I was thinking on the Indian culture, you're more like family based. Obviously, you go out with friends and that. But in the States, I felt it was more like, okay, people create their own family because a lot of people are not in the same state as their parents live, and they're more like independent.
Yes.
So I always say there's a great place for a time in life. And it may not always be like you can be there for a long time and it's awesome, but now I'm ready to do something different for diverse reasons. So at that time in life, I think it was an excellent experience, and the culture or the aspect of people enjoying creating their own families, because a lot of people in San Diego are transplants.
You, as the citizen of the world that you have always been, now you're moving on.
Yes, I am.
So this part gets more and more exciting. And it's like, because you just don't stay put. You just keep moving with this. So tell us about this exciting part. And what was it? You talk about a diverse lifestyle. What was it that really inspired this next move?
So you see how I mentioned shortly ago that there's a time in life where you may enjoy more a place or another. One of our goals in life, and this is for my family and I, is like we share that belief and thought, is to have more flexibility in life and split our time between more than one location. Because when you start knowing different places of the world on a deeper level, like understanding more about the people that live there, what is the lifestyle, what is the culture, what you can do in each place, what you can get in each place. You're like, if you're like me, you're like, why do I need to be 12 months a year in one only place? Says I
call that wanderlust, and I want to be adopted.
So we decided, okay, we want to get there. What steps do we need to give to reach that ideal stage where we can live 3 to 4 months in each of the places? So my family is still in Europe, so in Spain. Yes. So I love visiting Spain, but I would like to spend there longer periods. And the lifestyle in Europe is just so different, and it's so nice. In Spain particularly, having a caña, a small beer, in
Got
some
you.
tapas in a chiringuito, which is a restaurant by the beach, or in a little plaza. I mean, that's just something irreplaceable. And that calmness that you breathe, which you don't find in the States. So in the States, it's a lot more moved. The culture is very ambitious. And it's great. I love it. And
Yes.
they teach you to say, okay, I'm here and I'm going to reach 10 steps within 10 years, one step per year. And I'm going to make more money and I'm going to spend more. But it's up to a point where I think we lose our internal balance or health. I'm a bit, not a
like
bit,
that.
I'm very spiritual. I like meditating. I like to kind of feel connected to my roots, my ground, and kind
I
of
love that.
set the difference
Yeah.
from work and life.
Yes.
And I felt overconsumed living only in the States. We do family meetings before we make any big decision in life. We make sure that we're all on board. Because, I mean, we're all individual beings with different thoughts. And the day
love that
we
too.
make a decision, it's
Yeah.
important that everyone's on board and there's no blames to, because, I mean, not everything turns out the way you want it in the time frame you want, especially when you're moving across countries, when you're starting a new life.
That's one thing in Spain. I was there living in the summer. So the beaches were filled, and they're filled with generations of
Yes.
family all at once, or big groups of like teenage girls and big groups of teenage boys. And they just were in such full conversation all the time. It was something very tangibly different.
It is.
Very different.
And that's a good example. So when I was talking about the cultural heritage and like all different generations, I don't know if you saw in the beach, no, when there is the entire family, they have the uncles, the grandpas, they take the big fridges. And it's not just one family that goes like that. It's like most of the families, we go the whole day to the beach. And we're just all going to enjoy it. And we bring in friends also. And you just have a big piece of the beach set up for you.
Yes,
So
with the
that's-
umbrellas and the
Yeah.
blankets and yes, it is hierarchy at that point because
Yeah.
the elders get the umbrella and stay in the shade. And then the parents are going in and out to get the drinks.
Yes.
Yes, and watch the kids. And then the kids are never under the shade because they're always in the water in the sun playing. But it is, I love how you bring up this sense of calm, the sense of just being at peace. We're not meant to be alone. And I really feel like in the Latin cultures, Hispanic cultures, the love of people, both from within the family and society, is so powerful. And you don't feel alone ever. You can be a complete stranger to everyone. You don't feel alone. And so now you've made the decision as the family to have this global citizen life. And what is that looking like for you now?
So right now we're dividing our time between Mexico and the U.S. Currently, that was like the first step when we decided we sell our house in California and we start more of a, I don't want to call it nomadic life because it's not exactly that. We do want to spend extended periods of time in each place, but do have a base in one location and a base in another. And for that, we also needed to adapt our works to be able to.
Oh, for sure.
So, and the school of the kids, because otherwise, like, I understand everybody wonders, okay, and how do your kids go to school?
Exactly.
And what about your job? It's been things we've been wanting to do for time, and suddenly pieces get into place where it's a good moment to get started. So our kids are now in middle school and high school. Experience in one location was fine, but we wanted to strengthen their world cultural heritage, make them citizens of the world. All of these life experiences are just going to make them so much stronger because they're not living the standard life. This is a school in the UK. And it's a school where there's children not only from all over the world, but that come from different backgrounds. So there's families that travel like us. There's families that have kids that were bullied in the regular school, so they decided to pull them out. There's artists and elite sports kids.
Sure.
So you have really a wide diversity and lifestyles of different people that found an online school to be the best option. But they also are the second only online school in the world that offers the International Baccalaureate curriculum, like the full IB curriculum. And that was also important for us because they're living it, but study it also. I mean, those are, it's just going to build them so much more strength.
I'm so jealous right now. It's like, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think about that schooling? I didn't know that there was such a thing as an online school that had the IB certification. That's going to feed so many of our listeners' minds right now, because it is definitely can feel like an anchor, both even in selecting where you live to begin with. If you're thinking family, you tend to want to find the places to live that are the best schools for your children, that make it the easiest for you to find community of children, that all these things, you immediately shift your entire life based on the children. But if you have this online school, oh my Lord, the possibilities are endless. I'm just so excited for every young person out there who thought they had to stay in one place. I'm so excited for them. What's the name of the school?
King's Inter-High. My kids, for example, wake up at 4:30 a.m. Well, we all wake up together. We created a work area so that we are all in our home office and everybody feels supported and not lonely. But they wake up at 4:30 so they can attend live lessons, because it's a school where you have real teachers, interactive lessons. They get to participate. It's not just recordings.
So it's online access, but it's a live school.
It's a live school, but the teachers are remote workers also. So everything is remote, everything is recorded. So if you don't go to a class, you can watch the recording later and you don't really miss out on anything. So for us, it was, okay, if we're going to spend our time in different locations, or even if we were to say 1 year here, 1 year there, it's still not enough stability for the kids' education. So it's better to find one solution that can go with them as they grow, and that provides great education. And another very good thing for families out there, traditional schools, they have traditional subjects. And yes, they modernize a bit. So you don't have coding in school, and you have photography and things like that. But this school is pretty advanced. So they have film studies, they have business, they have psychology, clubs of criminology, clubs of future lawyers, and things like that. So obviously, these are the different things that I hadn't found in the school where they were before.
No. Huge. Real life lessons that many of our corporate leaders have not learned.
Exactly.
And alienating the employees because of it. Feeling like they're not seen. We've heard so many here on the podcast who have burned out in the corporate setting in very successful career tracks because they did not have that empathetic leadership.
You brought up a very good point that aligns to the importance of global citizenship and understanding of different cultures. And that is that the more empathic you become, the better leader you are, because you really understand your employees. It doesn't matter if your employees are all in California, and you still understand people in a different way. And then, yes, you think about money, because in the end, you need the money to grow your business.
Absolutely.
But you're not thinking about it in the same way. So more reasons for people to get up there.
Oh, I love that. And I do love, this seems way outside what high schoolers get to be exposed to, and yet are expected to be part of just years later, right? It would just cold turkey. And I really feel for any young people out there trying to find a job right now,
there's a disconnection right now. Yes.
Disconnect. Yes. There's a gap, a disconnect, a chasm between what the expectations are coming into business
and what they're prepared for. So this is powerful. I've never heard of this. I love this. It's such a unique journey. Sharmila, it's just such a unique journey and such unique way of doing life that is different, even in this world of tech and social media and I'm going to get out and travel. This isn't travel. This is living.
Yeah.
This is pure living. So all of you in bringing this forward, and we're very grateful for sharing all of it. It's such a beautiful journey. This is translating into your business. Bring us your business, the name and the expertise.
My business is SMB Global Marketing, and how couldn't it not be global?
Global.
Yeah. So because of everything I shared up to now, it comes within me to ensure people are aware there is a lot more opportunities than we think out there when it comes to connecting with different audiences. So I worked in international companies pretty much since the beginning of my career in different fields. One of the longest experiences was in educational travel, and I was working from Spain. We had an office in Canada, we had an office in France, and then when I went to the US, I actually was relocated to open that office. So I learned how to grow a company or an office from zero up and understand the different work culture in a different place, because it's not the same the way you manage a business and do everything in Spain as it is in the US. But then I go to the French office to learn from them, or to the Canadian office to learn from them. And I see how different work culture is in each place, how differently they communicate with the local clients, because we all had the common US customer, but then all of the local offices served their local business, no? Right. So when I'm building SMB Global Marketing, I'm thinking, okay, in most of the companies I worked for, we either did business with Spain, France, and other locations, or Spain, France, USA, Canada, sent people all around the world. Why is it common in Europe, I'm going to say, to try to market to different audiences outside of your country, but in the US, they're not doing it so much. And Canada is so close. And Canada is bilingual. I mean, the region of Quebec, they're French-speaking. Yes. Then if you think Mexico, I mean, there's so many borders with Mexico and the US. In San Diego, Tijuana, I mean, so you can easily transport goods. And then you have all these online businesses that are providing a service that could be provided to anywhere in the world, no? If you're a business coach, do you only need to support people living in the US? Because maybe I understand your audience is the US customer, but aren't there Americans living in other areas? Can you also serve them? Can you target them? So I tried to build, I built.
You have built, it is existing.
It's existing. We have customers in Europe, we have customers in the US, and we're expanding. Our main target audiences are how we can help you, or people that we can help you connect with, is especially people in Latin America, the US, Canada, and Europe. We can do marketing in Spanish, English, French, Italian, Portuguese. And if you have any other requests, let us know. We're a small and big team at the same time. So as a small business starting out, but understanding the importance of people and collaboration, we work with several contractors on an ongoing basis, so we can support people from different backgrounds, something that really sets us apart. And part of the philosophy that I wanted to bring in is that, first of all, workers, we've lived and experienced different cultures and speak different languages. It's part of us. And we don't have everybody from the same location. So I collaborate from people from Canada, people that live in Mexico. I collaborate with someone that lives in Argentina. I collaborate with someone in California, because all of the English content needs to be connecting with the audience in the US, and the Spanish content needs to connect with Hispanic speakers. So whether you're trying to target Latin America or Spain, there's different nuances. There's different way of talking, communicating, expressions. So we bring all of that to life. So we do website development and design. We do search engine optimization, branding. We also do ads. So really is helping you establish a strong digital presence that connects with a diverse audience. And I like to clarify that we help you expand into new markets, but we also help you connect with local diverse audience. I'm going to give the example of San Diego.
Sure.
There's a lot of people in San Diego that don't speak English as their mother language. And if you're an attorney or you are a real estate or realtor, you are dealing with important decisions in someone's life. And maybe you are bilingual or you're Spanish speaker, or you have someone on your team. But if they're searching online and they don't find your information in Spanish, how are they going to know you also offer that service in Spanish? Yes, you can say, hablamos español. But if you look for certain searches like abogados in San Diego, people actually do look for that term. So we help you rank in Spanish, we help you rank in English. Then if you're doing marketing in Spain, for example, but you'll still want to connect with the US audience. So we do this keyword research in Spain, help your Spanish content rank in Spain, and then your American content rank in the US. So it's really about understanding how people communicate, how people interact, what do people search for in each place, and create an image that resonates with that local audience, because not everything can be represented the same and connect in the same manner with someone that's thousands of miles away from you. So yeah, that's really what we bring to the table and who we are, why we do it.
In every aspect of your life, you get to be living in all these countries just from the interactions of the people on the teams, of the people bringing their companies to you, with your own children, with the people that they're learning from in their schooling. It's so fun. Like,
yes.
You're on a constant traverse of the world in every aspect. But this business is very powerful. And I love that you frame it with the idea of thinking beyond your immediate community, of thinking not only for your growth personally, emotionally, mentally, but also with the possibility that you provide yourself, that you do not have to limit yourself to your immediate area.
And another thing people don't think about is tourism. So thinking of touristy destination, I'm going to put the example now in Spain instead of the U.S., but a lot of areas in the U.S. would resonate with this, and San Diego could be one of them because there's a lot of tourism, but not just tourism.
Yeah, that's true.
Like local tourism. You have people coming from France. So I was telling you all of the different nationalities I grew up with, no?
Yes.
So now you have a restaurant and people, they're coming to visit for 1 week and they're figuring out where they're going to eat. What are they going to visit? What are they going to do? Where are they going to stay? So do you have an apartment for rent? You may have it in Airbnb, but do you also want to have a one-page website at least to showcase it, be able to take payments yourself, put it in multiple languages? So that people, now they're searching for friends, or you're in San Diego and someone comes to visit San Diego from Dubai. Do you have it in another language where they can come and say, okay, I see where I can go. I see where I can stay. So you appear in search engines around the world if your information is findable in other areas. So think also that, are you tapping into that market? And that's why I always say we help you connect with diverse and multicultural audiences on a local level or international level, because on a local level can be the people that come and they're just searching or they're staying there for a month, and now I'm looking here, but I'm looking in my native language because my search engine is in my language, it's not in English.
My goodness. My goodness.
How many people come visit you from other areas?
Yes. And that's something that, as someone who travels and someone who is on the flip side, me going elsewhere, I always associated that ideal with larger companies and hotels and, pick the language you want this in. I never took it down to the level of small business and the immense global traffic that you can get from just a small, like you say, one page added to a website can be found.
Yes. And because of, again, who I am, I really like to help people. And I worked within small businesses, small, medium, my entire life. And I saw the struggles that small, medium-sized businesses have, and mainly is marketing. So when I get in the leadership position, and I'm trying to find
like every small business person, I can't do one more thing.
It's just too much for one person. But that's why something I didn't mention is that everything we do is tailored to each business need. Why? Because as a small business, you don't have the budgets that corporation have, and you don't have $50,000 to throw into marketing. Not even $10,000 a month. Like a lot of small businesses, they need smaller budgets, but they do need that marketing. So we really like to sit down with each individual business, understand what their needs are, and then create a strategy aligned to their growth goals. Because if your goal is to build a community, we will do something different than if your goal is to drive additional leads and sales. If your goal is to attract just a Hispanic audience in California or in San Diego, we're going to do a different strategy than for a logistics company that's trying to rank in different places in the world. And then some people just started and they want support with marketing. And some people have been in business for 3 years and they said, okay, now I have a budget to invest on a monthly basis. Every single person is different. Every single business is different. And some people are okay not getting immediate results.
Describe that process.
Yeah.
In a year. Like, what would the expectation be? What would you be looking for? And then at what point do you sit there and say, I think we better maybe do this?
I'm going to give a real example of someone we've been working with for 3 years now. So they started small budget, but they are building a global business. So they want to show up in their main target countries, which is Spain, England, France. Now they want to also rank in Mexico. They want to rank in China, the US.
Wow.
But they have a small budget. So we start with a website and then they tell me, okay, this is my monthly budget. What can we do? So clearly and honestly, because we like to be upfront with everybody. And we'll let you know how long it's going to take. And then you decide if you want to do something or wait until you have more money and do it later. But doing something is better than not doing something. Because the secret of getting ahead is getting started, like Mark Twain said. And I really think that in marketing, you need to do something and then you can go growing from there. So after a year, we were doing search engine optimization, but only one article per month and small articles because search engine optimization changes also. So you could do smaller articles before and still rank. Now you need to do longer, more thoughtful, more quotes in the article because there's more content out there. So there's more competition. So there's always like monitoring that you need to be doing. But they got to strengthen their digital positioning. Social media is very common and trendy. And they decided year 2, okay, let's switch to social media.
Okay.
That didn't help them reach their goals. They wanted to do that because they heard, social media is good. We want to create a presence. They have a nice presence. They have a small community. Because their budget was small, it hadn't grown a lot. Having said that, the search engine optimization strategy that we began with was still there, and they are ranking in different areas for main search terms. So when we speak, because we talk on a monthly basis, but every year we also strategize. So I think communication is essential. So the more communication we have, we can get closer to your growth goals because we go evaluating. We try different strategies and then you see. So now we recommended, okay, we should go back to search engine optimization for your specific goals that you want to drive traffic. because this made an impact. And this was a year ago, but your social media strategy didn't really go anywhere because you need to be conscious of the budget that you're investing and that you're not making ads. So based on your budget, we can get this done. And that's not enough. So each strategy requires different funds. In social media, it requires a lot of time. It really requires like a full position there, but it has a cost also, no? So there's different strategies. That's why I always say it depends on your growth goal.
I'm thinking a lot of small businesses are product-based. When it comes to international, if they were to grow beyond, does product in an international market become difficult because of shipping and customs? And is that something to consider as far as an opportunity, or does that make it too difficult for a small company starting?
So there are businesses that find ways to do it in a profitable way. It's all about looking into it, and it depends on the type of product that you're offering. So you definitely have the customs and some products you cannot ship. And I'm going to give the example of CBD business. And can be shipping it to.
So what is the best way for people listening to reach out to you, to find more about the business? Tell us everything.
Absolutely. So they can visit our website, which is snbglobalmarketing.com. And SNB stands for small and medium-sized businesses. So it's simple.
That's you, everyone. Everyone out there listening, that's you.
And then global marketing. Email is hello@snbglobalmarketing.com. I invite everyone to follow us on Instagram, also at SNB Global Marketing. There's some videos on some tips and tricks for small businesses that don't have the budget yet on things that you can do to improve your marketing. We have a YouTube channel that's in the process of growing.
Nice. I think in another life we were sisters. At least we were something, because it's like, wow, I wish I met you when I was 17. My life would be so different. So different.
I've really, really enjoyed having this conversation, considering you're amazing. I agree that if we would have met at a younger age, we would have been primas, best friends, traveled a lot, like partners in crime and trips. But
it can still happen.
Yes.
It can still happen. We have a lot of life to live. May we be blessed with a lot of life to live and make that opportunity happen for decades.
Yes. I would say for everybody out there, life is scary, but don't be afraid. Just take a step and do the things. And I say that because when you hear different people sharing their stories, you're like, oh, they're amazing. That's so brave. I wouldn't do it. I mean, we all fear every time we do something new in our life. But it's all about just saying, okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to think twice because I believe this is good. So I'm going to take the step ahead. So just make sure you follow your beliefs. Don't do it alone.
Don't do it alone. Find the people that understand what you're trying to do.
Yes.
Ask for help.
Yes.
And be patient with yourself. But make a plan. Every day have a plan going forward. Not for that day. There's only so much you can do.
Exactly. Making a plan is so important.
Give yourself some framework. Yeah, give yourself some framework.
Yeah, we live in a digital world.
I love this. Yet with a human understanding, empathy, and support. The best of all worlds right there. Oh, thank you, Sharmila. This has been such a joy. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Consuelo. It's been my pleasure to be here.
Next week, February 19th, the enthusiasm for a different way of living life continues with a mujer whose energy is endless and will totally fuel your thinking. She wouldn't let anyone stop her from doing what she loves. Her aha moment came after being told she would never make it on TV as a news anchor because she looked too Latina. Yes, that Cristina Jovana Olivares decided to take her dreams into her own hands and flourished. This multi-award-winning business coach and multi-generational Mexican-American advocates for Latinas in leadership and business. Guiding them to new heights, she envisions a future where business and personal life are intertwined, advocating for a new paradigm in business leadership that prioritizes empathy and vulnerability. Whether it's through her premier Hustle and Socialize conference coming up in early June, or speaking and training, or her one-on-one coaching, Cristina helps women of color step into leadership roles with unapologetic confidence, growing their businesses and expanding their networks. Cristina is all this, and yet you will never guess what her vision of life would be if she were to walk through a portal into a whole other world. Not gonna guess. So come find out on February 19th. Step into your truth. Ciao. We love that you have subscribed to this podcast and continue to champion women who understand the life of all things Latina. Be sure to follow and subscribe to the Encuentras Your Voice podcast so you don't miss a single episode. They will automatically drop into your listening device each week, and we'd really appreciate if you take a moment to add to the reviews that we already have. Tell us what you like, tell us what you're hoping to hear, and we will get there. Share this with your friends and family to help us grow our comunidad, and keep following us on our social media to Encuentras Your Voice. We are so grateful to you for helping us grow this community and would love to learn of all the amazing Latinas who you know are creating the world we thrive in. So reach out to me on social media at Encuentras Your Voice, and let's keep leaning into our authenticity in pride. Help us make Encuentras Your Voice the place where you are 100% represented.